What up, family? It's Aiden here, and we back with another banger. So, it's been a couple days since I dropped my last video, and I know at the beginning of this series I wanted to start posting every single day. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. I get a little bit too excited when I set my goals, as I'm sure a lot of you can relate. But I realized that if this is gonna stay consistent, if this is gonna happen, it's gonna happen naturally. It's not gonna be an everyday thing. But I definitely do want to make it a goal to post at least 3 to 4 times a week, never any less, which I think is a lot more achievable. It puts a lot less stress on me, and it allows me to get on here and enjoy this, make it something that I actually look forward to doing rather than looking at it as something that I have to do. And so, yeah, with that being said, with this video, the message that I want to preach on and I want to share today is share with you guys how I was able to build a 6-figure agency, how I was able to get to that 10K a month mark, which I feel like for a lot of people, at least my age, for a lot of people who are, trying to start up their own business, or even for a lot of people who just want more out of life, they want to leave their corporate job, or maybe, they're in college and they're not sure if they want to go into the corporate world, right? A big thing was, okay, how can I actually make 10K a month? For me, that was like the biggest goal. Like, I would imagine myself just making 10K a month. I was wondering all the time, how can I make 10K a month, 10K a month, 120K a year? It was like the biggest goal, and I really wanted to hit it. And so I feel like this video is gonna be very valuable for those young entrepreneurs around my age, 23, 24, 25, who are looking to get to that point. I want to share with you the 5 things that I've actually done that helped me get to that point extremely fast. From the point to where I actually started my business to where I got to 10K a month, it only took me about 6 months, 7 months. All right, really more so like 5 months. And I say that because business didn't really kick until I moved to Miami, which was, January. I moved December 2022, and then I went to DR for a month, so really January 2022. And so I say it really took me 5 months of really diving into business to hit 10K a month. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. I feel like this is gonna be a banger. Stay tuned. And understand that note takers are money makers. All right, note takers are money makers. Everything that I'm about to share with you is extremely valuable, and so I would love for you to actually take out your phone, take out a notepad, and really apply what I'm going to share with you, because this is another gem that I've learned. Right, applied knowledge is, knowledge without application is useless. And so a lot of people, they'll go out, they'll buy these courses, they'll learn from these people, but they won't actually, take notes and apply what it is that they learn. Hence the reason why they see no results. And so everything I'm about to share you, if you will apply it, you can easily get to that 10K a month mark. It is extremely possible, right? It is extremely impossible. And if I can do it, trust me, you can do it as well. Okay, so let's hop into it. All right, the first thing when it comes to getting to the 10K month mark, right, you have to first believe and trust in God. I truly believe that if you seek God, all the things that you want will be added onto you. Now, I created a whole video on this. I believe it was my last video, Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom of God. If you haven't already checked that out, make sure to do so, because it is a banger as always. And yeah, there's a lot of value in that. But I'm the type of person where I truly believe in the depths of my soul, when you're operating out of a place of seeking God first, everything else is going to come to you. Everything else is you're going to attract it. God is going to give it to you. And so he wants to, as I mentioned in my last video, he wants to give you all of the things that you desire. And so you really have to believe in him, and you have to believe in yourself, right? Because when you do believe in God, you understand his love for you, and you understand that anything is possible. You understand that through him, you will have the power of confidence. You will have the power of faith. You will have the power of just ultimately, like, failure is not an option type of mindset. Like, I truly believe that's where all of this starts. It's just having the mindset that, hey, God's got me, and I know whatever I set my mind out to do, I will achieve. So that's the very first thing, is believing in yourself, believing in God, and seeking Him, and all else will be added onto you, right? Once I had that belief, once I actually, started to seek God and started to pray on the things that I wanted, and I really started to get after it, right? I started to open up my business. The next thing that I had to do was develop myself. I had to essentially recreate myself, because the version that I was at that time was not capable of making 10K a month. I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the skills, I didn't have the map, I didn't have the roadmap. And so I needed to develop myself. And how did I develop myself, right? The first thing that I did was I kind of did an audit on my life. I looked at my life and said, all right, I kind of took myself out of my own body, and I was like, okay, what am I doing on a daily basis? What habits need to stop right now? What habits do I need to start right now? What are the little things that I can do on a daily basis that are just going to compound, and add up and get me to the position I want to be? So I really understood that I needed to be disciplined. I needed to create a plan and follow it. And so the very first thing I did was start getting in the gym. Why? Because number one, I wanted to build that confidence in myself. I wanted to look good. But number two, I wanted to develop the mindset that I get in the gym every day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. I get in the gym, I train, and I push myself. And so that's why I love the gym, because it's not just about lifting weights to me. It's about, what are you doing on that last rep when your muscles are tired? That right there is it goes beyond the actual lift. It's really a mental thing, because a lot of people, they get pushed to that resistance. They get pushed to the point where they want to stop, right? And that's where true character comes out. That's where true character shows. And so in the gym every single day, you have the opportunity to literally break your muscles, right? And that's how you grow. You have to break down your muscles, right? And again, it just gives you the opportunity to push past that resistance. It gives you the opportunity to show yourself that you're not gonna stop when things get hard. So that's the first and foremost. It helped me, gym helped me get disciplined, and helped me push past my resistance, which I would then have to continue to do so throughout my entire life. But in the gym, that was a very foundational piece of it. Not only that, but the gym also showed me, by staying consistent, by showing up 5-6 days out of the week, that over the long term, you would see progress. It's a direct reflection. If I get in the gym 5-6 days a week, 2-3 months from now, my body is gonna look amazing, right? And it's just like that. Like you can noticeably see the difference your body has when you approach the gym in that way, and you have that consistency. And so you can take that same principle and apply it in anything else in life. You may not see the results right away, but moving down the road, you will see those results. And so extremely important that I got into the gym and that I was being consistent in it. Another way that I developed myself was I did an audit on my social media. I looked at my social media and I'm like, I'm tired of looking at people talk about drama. I'm tired of watching people go on vacations and with their families. And I'm just like, I don't even, I follow all these people from high school that I honestly probably will never see again, and that truthfully I don't care about. Let me unfollow all of them, right? And so I did that. I unfollowed a bunch of people because they were no longer serving me. And that was the mindset that I had. If you're not serving me, or you're inspiring me, educating me, I don't want it. And so I deleted all of that, and then I loaded up my algorithm with pages that did inspire me, with pages that did serve me, and with pages that educated. I stopped going on social media for entertainment, and I started going on it for educational purposes and to be inspired. I started following people that would essentially make talking head videos and preach a message, right? Who would talk about personal development, who would talk about skills, who would talk about money, right? All of these things is just like soaking in information. I really controlled what I was consuming, right? I would follow all of these accounts, and I would like all of these posts. And so the algorithm was constantly feeding me stuff that gave me the belief that I could also achieve those things. That gave me the education to understand how to achieve those things. Such a crucial point. Don't let that go over your head, okay? Now, another way that I feel like I developed myself was through the consumption of media, right? Not only just social media, but what was I actually consuming? What music was I listening to, right? What was I doing when I was trying to relax, right? What was I actually consuming? Whether that be like, not even just media, but also like food and like, the people that I would listen to. Like, in short, I want to just say like, a lot of us will turn on Netflix when we want to chill out. A lot of us will turn on a video game and we'll play video games. And so for me, it was like I needed to cut that out. I needed to cut out Netflix. I needed to cut out the video games. I got into a state of mind where it was like, there is no room in my life for this at all. For the places that I want to get to, I have to cut it out. I cannot be watching Netflix. I cannot be playing video games. During the times that I want to relax, I'll turn on a podcast and I'll digest and I'll learn information from somebody that I aspire to be like, right? I'll turn on, some type of documentary that I want to learn about, right? Everything was extremely purposeful and I was not wasting time because time is precious, man. And we never know, when we're going to go. We never know when our time is up, right? And it's like we live in a world where we're constantly being stimulated. We're constantly put in a scenario where we can end up being lazy, where we can end up wasting our time, just like mindlessly scrolling, mindlessly watching 6 hours of Netflix. And so I had to cut it out. And so those were really the main ways that I developed myself. And it's very important that I also took the time to invest into mentors, invest into courses. That was another really crucial way I had to develop myself. I would be studying every single day, in the winter of 2022. Every single day I was studying, full-time filmmaker. I was studying micro content mastery, some really great courses that helped me understand how to run a video agency, that helped me understand how to pick up a camera and shoot amazing videos, right? So important. So the next thing that I want to go over on how I got to 10K per month was I had to optimize my environment. One day, essentially, if you guys watched my, I believe it was one of my past videos, but I talked about kind of like my story and how I ended up moving to Miami. And moving to Miami was the best decision of my life. One of the best decisions of my life. It literally felt like I was swimming in a pond and I jumped into the ocean, surrounded by sharks, right? And eventually I would become one of those sharks. I'm still on my way to becoming one of those sharks, to being a big player here in Miami, right? And it's happening so fast. But my point being is you have to optimize your environment. You have to understand who is around you, what you guys are doing, what you guys are talking about, how you guys are spending your time, right? If you wake up, for example, for me, I had to move out of my hometown that I grew up in, my home that I grew up in, to move to New York. And it was the worst. It was dirty. It was the hood. You would go outside, you'd smell piss, bunch of homeless people. It was just not a pretty environment. It was gross. It was like, it gave me the heebie-jeebies. Like, I remember waking up like, another day. Another day. Another day. That is so bad. That's so bad, right? You have to be able to wake up and like, it has to feel like a movie. Like you wake up and you're like, God, I'm so grateful that I'm alive right now. God, thank you for another day. You have to be able to wake up and go look outside your balcony, your view, and say, wow, look at these trees. The air smells good. As corny as it sounds, it's so true. You have to be able to walk outside and enjoy everything you see, right? Your frequency needs to be aligned with the person you want to be. And so your frequency is what you see frequently. And so if you're constantly seeing things that you don't like frequently, you're going to have a low frequency. Versus the opposite, if you're constantly seeing things that you frequently like to see, you're going to have a high frequency. So every morning, even let's say in New York, I would wake up, I'd make my bed, I'd make sure that the things that I can control were controlled and were the way that I like it. A clean room, a good smelling room, hygiene is good. Let's get to work, let's study, right? But even now, so when I moved to Miami, it's like I have those things. I can wake up and I can genuinely like feel this overwhelm overwhelming. You guys get my point. This overwhelming feeling of like gratitude, of joy, because like none of this is promised, and I'm genuinely living a great life. I'm very happy with where I live, and this view is just incredible. I mean, I'm in the heart of Miami, downtown Miami, at 23 years old. Paying my rent, supporting myself. It's like I'm constantly seeing Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Tesla trucks, like all these things that inspire me. It's like right here. It's like right here. That stuff is like, it makes me feel good. It's like I can obtain those things. I could achieve those things. And so you have to optimize your environment, not just like where you're living and what you're seeing, but also like who you're hanging around. You cannot be hanging around with people who don't have high aspirations of themselves, who don't have big dreams, who are constantly smoking weed, going out, drinking alcohol, who are like, you can't. Because if you do, you are not going to elevate to the person that you want to be. You're not. You're not going to be able to. Maybe you can. Okay? Let me not say you're not going to be able to. But for me personally, I knew that I was not going to be able to be the person that I truly desired to be if I was hanging around people who were on the wrong path. The people who would spend the weekends to get away from, to escape their reality. I needed to be hanging around ballers, right? Like King Keto, like Wade Houston, Colin Yurkison, like Andre Berto, like Aiden Ross, right? The people that I've been fortunate enough to be around, right? I needed to get into those rooms, and I needed to understand how they thought, right? Because ultimately, the character that we are determines the results that we get. That's really it. Your daily habits, who you are, what you do, who you hang around, all of that is just a reflection of the results you get. Or the results you get is a reflection of all of those things, rather, right? And so, if you're not happy where you are, take the risk, like I did. I literally got up out of New York. I had no money. I got into $5,000 into debt just to move to Miami. But I said, I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna do it. And I was able to do that because step one, I was able to believe in God and see God, and knew that God would give me the confidence and show me the way. Without a doubt, there was no failing at all. I knew that if I was to put my faith in God and say, God, I believe that you can do this for me, it's done. It's just a matter of putting in the work, baby. It's literally just like that. Like, I can't explain it any better than that. And so again, if you're in an environment where you're not happy, you're not liking what you're seeing, you're around people that you don't like, you got to get out of there ASAP. Go get a credit card. I don't know, because everybody's different. For me, I went and I racked up debt. I just went. And so I don't want to necessarily give you guys advice or tell you guys what to do, but I want you to learn from my experience and understand what I did, and now look where I'm at. All right? So once you optimize your environment, you then need to practice your craft. Number 4, practice your craft. You have to be good at what it is you do, right? You have to be good at what it is you do. And the only way to get good at what it is you do is through practicing it. Even before I got to Miami, I started filming as much as possible. As much as possible, even if it was for free. I would film, me sitting down, just talking to the camera. I'd take the camera almost everywhere I went and just film. One day I remember I literally went out to a lake one day. I was an Amazon driver back in New Jersey, and I was doing some deliveries, and I found this lake. I was like, yo, this is such a dope spot. The next day I brought my camera and just made like a travel vlog type, not even like a vlog, it was like a travel, it was like a nature travel video. Some of you might have seen it. It's up on the gram. But my point being is that I was just constantly creating, constantly filming, constantly editing, constantly learning. And that's what you need to do. If you're not doing that, your competition is getting ahead of you. If you're not growing, your competition is getting ahead of you. And you have to view it like that. Do you want to be good at what you do? Do you want people to want your service, to want to be around you, to obtain the value that you have to provide? Then you have to be good at what it is you do. There's no excuses, right? And you're not going to do that if your environment isn't good, if you're constantly on Netflix, if you're constantly playing video games, and if you don't even have the belief that you can do these things. If you don't have your eyes set on God to be able to give you that confidence and that faith within, right? So practice, 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 right? If you don't have anything to do all day, that's a problem. There's always something to do. You just need to figure out what that is and go and do it. Go and do it. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. This world is designed for you to waste your time. It's so easy to mindlessly scroll. It is so easy to go play video games, right? Stop wasting time. Practice your craft. Now, my last point, and this is probably one of the most important, like how did I actually get to 10K a month? The way that I actually got to 10K a month was through networking. It was through building relationships. It was through getting into the room, right? And I put this as the last point because you can't network, you can't get into the room, you can't develop strong relationships if you don't have all those other 4 pieces. If you can't trust and believe in God and have the faith and confidence that you can do whatever it is you set your mind to. If you can't develop yourself, develop your mindset, develop your skills. If you can't optimize your environment, and if you can't practice your craft and be good at what you do, you're never gonna be able to network properly and develop the relationships that are gonna take you to the next level. So when I first moved to Miami, my mindset was, I need as many people to know who I am, and I need to constantly show up on their feed on Instagram. I need to get as many Instagrams as possible, and I need to constantly show up on their feed so that they can be reminded of who I am and my value and how I can help them. And that's exactly what I did. Not only was I posting every single day, about my target audience's problems, about content creation, about social media marketing. Not only was I posting every day so that every time I would go out and get someone's Instagram, they would see me talking about what it is that I do. I would not only do that, but I would also go out and work for free. If I met someone and I saw that they were a high-level individual, oh, brother, let me make a quick video for you. I see you got this dope studio. I see you got this dope thing going on. Let me shoot this free video for you. Nobody ever told me no. Nobody ever rejected a free piece of work from me, especially when I had some work that I could show them and be like, look, this is some of our work, check it out. Like, oh, that's so dope, I'd appreciate that. You have to lead with value first here. Like, if you lead with, a lot of people, their mindset is, give me the money and then I'm gonna give you the value. But sometimes, especially when you're just starting off, you have to lead with the value, show people what it is you can do. Oh my goodness, that is such a gem. And so, please don't let that go over your head. Lead with value. Go and do 10 pieces of work for free, whatever it may be, because chances are, number one, that client is really gonna appreciate that you took the time to do that, right? People will appreciate that and they see that. They see the type of person that you are. And number two, it's gonna up your portfolio, right? You're gonna have more work to show others. And number three, it's going to allow you to develop really good relationships, and it's going to allow others to refer people onto you, right? So when I first got here to Miami, I was like, all right, I'm going to just do as much free work as possible. I'm going to do so much free work, and I'm just going to get my name out there. And that's exactly what I did. And what I did was I met a lot of really good people doing that, right? Who really appreciated the way that I worked, who appreciated my professionalism, and appreciated the work that I did for them, right? The actual videos, they loved it because I practiced my craft. I was good at what it is that I did, right? And so, for example, I met this one girl named Brittany Berger. Shout out Brittany Berger over at Mindful Studio. I met Brittany Berger, and Brittany is such a beautiful, amazing soul, a great person, a person who's gonna take care of you and wanna see you succeed. And those are the type of people that you need to invest into. And so I saw, Brittany was referring me clients, and so I would do Brittany's favors all the time. I would do free work for Brittany all the time. Like, hey, Brittany, don't worry, I got you. Like, you need this done? All right, say less. I got you. I'm gonna take care of you. And what that did was Brittany connected me with so many people who ended up being clients, who ended up paying me $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for work, right? Because I invested in her, and in turn, that made her want to invest into me, and that made me like her go-to guy. Anybody needs video, Brittany's sending them to me. And you need like 10 of those. You need 20 of those. You need 50 of those Brittany's. You need as many Brittany's in your circle as possible. People that can vouch for you and that will send you business, right? Another example, of, or another way to network, not only by going out doing stuff for free, but you have to be networking online. When I first got here, minimum, I was sending 50 DMs a day, every single day for like 60 to 90 days straight, right? There were some days, yeah, I might have missed, but I was sending out DMs every day. I would search up hashtag Miami and just find dope people. I would go on their profile, like a couple of their posts, message them, hey, I absolutely love your profile. I'd love to shoot you a free video. Something as simple as that, right? And I would do that every single day. Hashtag Entrepreneur Miami, hashtag Lifestyle Miami, right? I would just find as many people here in Miami that looked dope online and I would connect with them, right? What did that do? That just expanded my network. It allowed me to build relationships, right? It allowed for people to understand who I was as a person because, again, I'm posting every single day. So once I connected with them, that's it. I've got them in my circle. They're going to know who I am and what it is that I do because I'm showing up on their social media pages every single day, right? And so I really took the time to develop these relationships on Instagram, to really DM them. And I wouldn't necessarily pitch them, but more so get to know them. Genuine conversations, which is rare nowadays. It's really rare for people to reach out and have genuine conversations. Most people are just expecting to get pitched because at the end of the day, a lot of people just look at other people as dollar signs. It's like, what can you do for me? Whereas I had the mindset, what can I do for you when I first started out? And that very mindset is how I've been able to work with so many top dogs here in Miami. That very mindset is why I'm able to afford $3,400 in rent right now. That very mindset is why I'm able to live a very good lifestyle. And why I'm able to get so many referrals. I don't even need to go out and find business anymore. I'm at the point where business just comes to me because I've developed such a strong network and have built so many good relationships. And it's so important that you guys do that, right? And if you can just do all 5 of those things, there is nothing holding you back from scaling to 10K a month. There's really not. It's really as simple as those 5 things. Believe in yourself, believe in God, and seek Him. All else will be added onto you. Develop yourself. Develop your mindset. Develop your skills. Develop your value. Optimize your environment. You have to be happy and wake up and want more. You can't possibly be getting better or reaching for more when you're not even when you're in an environment that's holding you back. Number 4. What was number 4? Practice your craft. Practice your craft. Get good at what it is you do. And number 5, network. Get in the room. Work for free. Get as many people to know your name. And once they do know your name, you've got to remind them of who you are. And the best way to do that is through social media. So guys, that is my little spiel on the 5 ways that I was able to get to 10K a month. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you found a lot of value. Let me know if you did in the comments below. Again, let me know what you guys want to see next. It really helps me when you do share your feedback. I really appreciate y'all. And I'm excited for the next one. Excited to keep on going on this series and just providing value in an authentic way as much as I can. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning into this video, and I'll catch y'all next time.